culture, fashion, and craft. Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, you're welcome. My name is OT. I create content on sewing tutorials and turban cap. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing us on how to make a turban lift. Turban lift is what you wear underneath your headgear to give it fullness. If you're on low cut or you have cornrows on you, you need a turban lift before you wear your scarf or your cap. It will give it bulkiness and it will make it look beautiful. This is the sample of what I'm about to teach us on how to make. This is the turban lift that I'm talking about. This is the sample that I made, as you can see. I use scuba material for the band and I use lining for the body, and the filling is fiber. This is a scuba and this is lining. You can make use of any soft fabric of your choice, but I'm using scuba for the band and I'm using lining for the body. So I'm going to cut out my head circumference. My head circumference is 23 inches. Because the scuba fabric is stretchy, I'm not going to cut out 23 inches. I'm going to minus 1 inch from my head circumference, which will be 22 inches. So I'm going to cut 22 inches along the stretchy parts. This other part is not stretchy, so make sure that you cut your band along the stretchy part of the fabric. So I'm going to measure 22 inches. I'm going to be adding half an inch seam allowance to it that I will use to sew the band together. So I'm going to cut out 22.5 inches. This 22.5 inches. Then for the length of the band, that is the wideness for the band. This is the wideness that I'm talking about. I used 8 inches and I folded it into 2. I'm going to show us shortly. So I'll be using the same measurement for it, 8 inches. Then I'm going to cut it out. This is the right side of the fabric. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into 2 this way. Right side facing each other. I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew ½ inch straight down. I've sewn it with ½ an inch and I cut out the excess fabric. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into 2 equal parts this way. My band is ready. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a full circle and sew it to my band. So let me bring my lining. The next thing is to cut out full circle for the body of the cap. I'm using a lining fabric. The measurements that I'm working with is 24 inches by 22 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it into 4. I'll first of all fold it into 2 this way. Then I'll fold it over, making into 4. The radius that I'm working with is 10 inches. You can use between 9 to 10 inches for the radius. but I'll be making use of 10 inches. You will keep your tape at the apex and you will rotate the tape and measure 10 inches. Please note, this 10 inches is not standard. You can make use of 8 to 10 inches. So the next thing, I'm going to cut it out. I have my full circle. As you can see. I need 2 of these. I'm going to spread my fabric and place this on it to cut another one. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to measure 2 inches away from the edge, round the circle. I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a straight stitch round the 2 inches mark, round the circle. Then I'm going to leave about 2 inches opening that I will use to fill in my fiber. Sew it round, as you can see, and I left this opening that I'm going to use to pass my filling into it. From this 2 inches opening, I'm going to fill it up with fiber. I'm satisfied with the way it is. As you can see, it is not too full. I have enough space left. Reason why I make it not to be too full, in case I want to adjust it, I can do that. Sometimes I like high bun, sometimes I want it to fall. Let me show us what I mean. The reason why I said you should not fill it up to full, in case if you want to adjust it, sometimes I want my bund to be high, so I will push it up. It will give me high bund. It will come up. Then I will tie my scarf or wear my head gear. If I want the shape that comes down, I'll just push it to the back. Then it will give me this effect at the back. That's why I advise not to fill it up, to full it, so that you'll be able to adjust it whichever shape you want, either low one or high bund. So the next thing I'm going to do, as you can see, the filling is not too full. There's still enough space. When you are filling it up, you will check it. You fold it this way and check it. If you still want it to be really full, you will add more fiber to it. And if you feel that it's too much, you will remove some. So the way it is, I'm satisfied with this shape. So the next thing I'm going to do, the 2 inches opening that I left, I'm going to close it up. I'm going to take to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew the 2 inches and close it up. After that, I'll show you the next step to take. I've closed the opening, as you can see. So the next thing to do, with my needle and thread, I'm going to sew loose stitches to form gathers round the circle. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust these gathers to fit my band. I'm going to leave this thread. I'm not going to cut it out yet because it will help me to adjust the gathers to fit into my band. So the next thing to do, while the band is still on fold, you adjust your band. As you can see, it's on fold. So I'm going to sew it. I've sewn it round, as you can see. See the way I position the band. I sew it round with 1/2 inch. I still have the thread. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out the gathered thread. So after that, I'm going to use my shear scissors. These rough edges, I'm going to use these shear scissors to cut it so that it will avoid fraying. If you don't have these scissors, make sure that you overlock the rough edges. This is the final outcome. We are done. Let me wear it on my mannequin and show us how it looks. My head circumference is bigger than the mannequin. That's why it's so loose on the mannequin. Like I said earlier, the reason why I did not make it to be too full, the filling to be too full, is because sometimes I like eye bond scarf or eye bond head wrap. So I'll be able to push it up this way. Sometimes I like it to fall. So I'll be able to push my filling this way. If I want the backdrop effects, I'll push my filling this way. Then it will give me backdrop. Let me bring scarf and tie it and show us how it looks. This is what most people that are on low cut or cornrow wear underneath their head wrap or turban cap, and it gives it a nice look, as you can see. We've come to an end of today's tutorial. If you find my tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you've not done so. I upload weekly tutorial on my channel. Also remember to click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Until I come your way next, please stay safe and remain blessed. Love you all. Bye.